man, okay. Spring is finally here, which is amazing. It was a very long winter. It was very cold and very snowy, and now it's over, so hallelujah. I didn't do anything to the Civic in the winter months. It's just not fun to work on cars in Utah when it's freezing cold and snowing outside. So it stayed parked, which is okay because I wasn't really expecting to do anything. But I wasn't completely inactive. I did collect a lot of parts. So I'll give you a tour of everything that I picked up over the winter, and then let's talk about the plans moving forward, what's going to go first, and kind of the priority list of things to do. Here we go. Some of this stuff you've already seen. So like, this is my rear disc brake conversion. I got those off of a 96 Integra at the junkyard. So I have that. That's going to go in. Still have my Federal RS-RRs. Those are going to get mounted on the car very soon, I promise. This is new. So if you remember, my driver's side door is pretty mangled. All through here is dented and there's a bunch of rust. So I picked up a new driver's door and also picked up a driver's fender. My fender, again, it's all creased and dented, and up here it's completely rusted out. There's holes in it. So I picked these up, the fender and the door. I picked them up for $40 from a guy on Facebook. He was parting out his coupe. So I feel pretty good about that. The one downside of this door, if you'll see, it is an automatic, and mine is a manual. So that's going to be a bit of a challenge, but nothing we can't handle. So we'll be doing an auto to manual swap for a EG door. That should be exciting. What else? Okay, here. I got some new engine mounts, some Hasport engine mounts. I found these off a guy on Facebook. Again, he had had them in his car for about a couple hundred miles and then sold the car, but he kept the mounts. So I got these pretty cheap, about $130 for the whole set. So those go in. My let's see, passenger mount is really messed up in the Civic right now. The bushing's all destroyed, so these are definitely going to be high on the priority list to get in. Then the next one, this is going to be a bit controversial. I got a set of max speeding rod coilovers. So before you start going crazy in the comments, all right, so there they are. These are the max speeding coilovers with the adjustable dampening. They were super cheap. They were like $300. So I know that like a lot of people are going to just say these are complete, eBay junk, and you're probably right. But they do come highly recommended from Garage Built Hondas and from Honda Street Garage. Go check out those guys' channel. I'll leave a link in the description for their reviews of them, especially Garage Built Hondas. He's had them in his track built CRX for I think 6 months, and he's had really good success with them. He talks about their flaws. There definitely are some, but for $300, you can't go wrong. These are basically disposable parts for that kind of money. I was going to get a set of teens, but for the price of these, I could get almost 3 sets of these for the price of the teens that I was looking at. So I'm going to put them on. We're going to figure it out. We'll see how they are. I might hate them. I might swap them out later, but I'm willing to roll the dice for this price point. So we'll give it a try. The race lens that are in there right now, they're garbage. One of them is completely seized. It won't spin. The collar's locked. So those are going to come out. We're going to put the max speeding rods in, and we'll see how they go. I'll give you a full review of these later, but take it easy. I've read all the comments. I know what I'm getting into here, sorta. Okay, moving on. I still have my plug wires and my distributor that need to go in. That's going to be pretty simple. Those are going to be really high on the priority list because I still haven't registered the Civic, and it's because it won't pass emissions. So I had it. I went and took it to a tuner here locally, and he did a lot of great work on the car. He's like 90% sure it's going to pass, but it does need a new distributor so that it'll pass. So I'm going to get that in. That's like priority one, is get the distributor and the new plug wires, and then we can register the car. We can actually drive it, because now, it's been almost a year since I've owned the Civic, and I haven't been able to drive it. and it's driving me freaking crazy. It's just been a lawn ornament. So, yeah, that's just my bad. But right now, priority 1-1 is I have the world's most annoying problem. My hood is seized. The hood latch won't work. So I can't pop up my hood to get in there for the plug wires in the distributor and to remove the fender. So that's the first job, is I've got to get that hood latch to pop. I think the cable itself is actually corroded and has snapped. So I'm going to have to get creative and kind of find a way to make it work. But that's what I got to do first. So let's head back in the garage. We'll talk about priorities. Here we go. Okay, so for priorities, priority 1 is get the hood to open. So I got to figure out the hood latch, which is, again, the world's most annoying, stupid problem. But I think I know how to do it. I saw a couple of videos, and I'm pretty sure I can get that thing popped open. So that's number 1. As soon as we do that, priority 2 is to get this thing freaking registered. So that's new distributor, new plug wires, get it down to Grease Monkey to have them do the emissions check. I failed the low RPM emissions check, so at idle, basically, I was running really rich. So I had my tuner kind of lean out my fuel map, and you know, when we looked at the fuel map with the Hondata, it was dumping a ton of fuel at idle. So he was able to lean it out and kind of smooth it all out, so it looks like it'll be fine, and it looks like it's going to pass emissions. He was like 90% confident that it'd do it. So we'll get the distributor, we'll get the plug wires, we'll go get it registered. Priority 2, I mean, it should be the engine mounts. I really need to get the engine mounts in. The motor is kind of rocking more than I would like. I'm a little nervous about tackling the engine mounts right away, though, because I think the two side ones aren't so difficult. It's the rear one that's really kind of got me worried. It's really destroyed. All of the rubber in the gasket is kind of disintegrated, and it's basically just, it's not doing anything. So that one makes me nervous because it's just hard to access, but I'm just gonna have to bite the bullet and do it because it definitely needs it. So that's gonna be the next one, are the motor mounts. Then the door and my fender. I really just want to get those on there. I know it's not integral to the performance of the car, but it's just for my own sanity. I don't really want to have these sitting around in my garage for very long. I just need to get them on the car, and they're super easy to swap in and out. So, and if I'm going to do my hood latch, I'm pretty confident I'm going to need to replace the hood latch cable, and you'll have to remove that fender to do that anyway, so might as well just do that. So that'd be the next one, is the door and my fender. Then coilovers. I want to get my max speeding rods in. I want to get those in before I do my first track day in the car. And those won't be very difficult to do. You know, they're built specifically for this chassis, so it's not a big deal. So it'll be coilovers next. Then, oof, man, tires is going to be after that. Mount my tires. Tires will probably come before that, actually. Tires will probably come right after registering, because again, the tires that are on the car make it undrivable. They are so stupid. The fronts, I think, are 235s by 15, and the rears are 195. So it's got this stupid drag setup that it just makes the car undrivable and not fun at all. So we'll get the 205s on after we get it registered. Yeah, so what else is left? Oh, my rear discs. So they're going to be kind of at the bottom end of the priority list. There's a lot that I need to do with the rear discs. I need to disassemble the ABS sensors. I need to find some handbrake cables that will fit. I have the ones from the Integra, but everything I'm reading says that those will not work in the EG chassis. They're just, I think they're too short, just by a little bit. So we'll find out, but I'm pretty sure that I just need to get a new set of parking brake cables, and they're not very expensive. I think it's $25 for the set. So we'll look into that. But I also, the bushings on these rear discs, they're shot. You can see that they're cracked and broken. So I'll just need to replace the bushings, and then I'll just need to clean them up. The calipers are the calipers are in decent shape. The rotors themselves are in decent shape as well, but I do want to get them cleaned. There's a lot of surface rust on them, so just want to make sure that everything's okay. It's all working. And then other than that, the very last priority again are my seats, my rear seats. That's just the interior of the car. They're going to be pretty involved. I have to remove basically all of the interior from the rear to get the seat belts in and to get the seats in. Because in mine, the chassis, the previous owner had removed the mounting bracket. So there's a big mounting bracket in the middle of the rear seat floor pan. So it kind of looks like a big rhino horn. So he had chopped that out, and because he just wanted a flat floor pan, I guess. But I actually have that bracket. I went and grabbed one off a car in the junkyard, so I need to get that and weld it into the floor pan in the rear. So I'll do that. Causes another problem is I don't have a welder, and I've never welded a thing in my life, but my brother has one, and he's welded a lot of things, so we'll take care of that. But yeah, so those are the priorities. We're going to start with getting that hood open, then we're going to get it registered with the new distributor and new plug wires, and then we're going to end with some interior bits. Yeah, so there's a lot to do. I have a lot of other things that I want to do to the car, namely AC. So the previous owner again pulled out all the AC system, which I get it. I understand it's heavy and you want to be race car, but these are not race cars. These are slow cars, okay? So putting in AC, for me, I just want it. Like Utah, the weather can be all over the place, and in the summers, it's really hot. So I want to have AC so I can drive the car and enjoy it. With the Miata, it wasn't that big of a deal because it didn't have a roof. These cars, it's a bigger deal. They trap heat really well. So AC system, I'm on the lookout for it. The guy actually that I got the door and the front fender from has an entire AC system still in that car, in that coupe. So I've told him, like, as soon as he removes his motor, he's going to be selling the motor out of that car. I told him, like, when you move that motor, I'll take your AC system. I'll come and I'll scavenge it all out of the car. And he was like, cool. So we'll see when that happens. But I think that'll be the next big thing, is reinstalling AC, and it's going to be everything. So it'll be a big job. It's got to be the evaporator, the compressor, the lines, everything, the condenser, the entire system. So that one should be fun. So yeah, stay tuned. We got a lot coming. I'm hoping to be able to dedicate quite a bit of time just in this first couple of weeks of spring. Yeah, we'll see how much of a dent we can make, but should be a good time. All right, guys, I'm stoked to be back. I hope you're stoked that I'm back. Here we go.